Thank you very much for that introduction. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this presentation on a paper titled The BIM Maturity Process to the Digital Twin for Lean Strategic Facilities Management. So basically, this paper, or rather, answers objective to a main research titled Digital Twin in Enabling Lean Strategic Facilities Management in Healthcare in the UK. To which the main objective, or rather the main aim to this, is to propose a digital twin framework to enable lean strategic FM in healthcare, in the healthcare built environment. So for this research, my supervisors are Professor Jason Underwood and Dr. Mustapha Munir. So this research follows the design science research process, to which we started with an awareness of the problem through carrying out literature reviews and a preliminary survey. Then next on was a suggestion to the problem through putting up some theory constructs. Yeah, okay, yeah, so getting some theory constructs and proposing an initial framework to the problem. Then next was development, to which we carried out research exploration through semi-structured interviews to co-create a proposed framework. And future work will be an evaluation through expert focus groups to validate the proposed framework. And with that, that will inform the conclusion. So have we got people from the UK apart from Claudia? Okay, I'll apologize for this, but anyway, this is the current situation that we're facing within the UK. Long waiting times, up to, the average is 12 hours, but gets to 19 hours within our healthcare facilities. And, well, this is a problem. And basically last week, the Prime Minister had a plan in solving this. And, well, they blame it on the workforce. But what we don't see in the news is the maintenance backlog that is in there within our healthcare facilities. It's in billions. And in that, basically, it affects patient satisfaction, disruption in services, reduced capacity in service provision, as well as longer waiting times, which also leads to negative staff experiences, which leads to actually staff going. Without staff retention, increased costs in addressing these maintenance backlogs, as well as time involved, and facility deterioration through gradual deterioration. And with that as well, from research as well, 80% of the total life cycle cost goes to operations and maintenance, which is also rated as the second largest expense after payroll in organizations. So we thought we needed to address this. And so we needed to bridge the gap between capital delivery to operations, extending BIM beyond design, build, and operation to the realization of not only buildings, but as physical, but buildings as a service in realization of enterprise BIM. So in that, in suggesting a solution to the problem, we put up a paper on building as a service and a conceptual framework to it, which luckily got featured on Building Smart. And with that, digital twins come to enable the integration piece in enabling us to collect, or rather integrate all the data we can collect within our facilities to solve such problems. For example, integrating things such as human movement, space utilization data, in creating knowledge for decision support and decision management. So within this framework, we got some feedback, some shortcomings, and which we sought to address later on. And for example, within the framework, we recommended some use cases which was not right. And then as well, we found that there was a need to integrate strategic facilities management, integrate asset management and operational FM in order to bring about integrative work and best performance. So next, we carried out an exploratory study, but which was meant to co-produce a framework and address the limitations of the initial proposed framework as well. And we had 16 participants involved who worked within the NHS projects. We had strategic asset managers, operational FM practitioners, BIM practitioners, data scientists, lean practitioners, and smart building practitioners as well. And the feedback we got was somewhat interesting. So first we delved to find out what are the problems within facilities information management. And I'm not sure if that's so clear, but well, within the hospitals, or rather the facilities, they still heavily rely on paper drawings, and data as well is not treated as an asset. And well, reasons for that, there is lack of understanding in terms of things such as information requirements, to defining use cases and KPIs as well. So they also say that they've got systems, multiple systems, but they're not tailored to their needs. And what they end up with is data swamps. So, and another comment was, that's split in between, fragmentation in between CapEx and OpEx, which contributed to a gap in between teams not collaborating. So they have got plans and which are not accurate. They've got multiple legacy systems which do not speak to each other. And the challenge in addressing the maintenance backlog was basically lack of communication and data sharing. And yeah, millions of backlog which they don't know how and when they'll solve them. And also experiencing client teams not able to define the end in mind in the outset. And they often say, give me Kobe or give me a digital twin, and to which doesn't fit the purpose. So in analyzing these challenges, we found we couldn't isolate them, and basically people challenges were the greatest. And there were process challenges as well, data challenges as well, and technology challenges, which we did map to lean types of waste, and basically all of them led to some form of waste: overproduction, waiting, transportation, defects, errors, motion, inventory, underutilized talent. So then we went forward to seek what the expectations were. Okay, thanks. And basically these were the expectations, and they really needed integration. Just moving forward, and all these expectations matched the lean principles. So we needed to formulate a framework or co-produce a framework that aligned to the lean principles. And with that, we had a conceptual model. This was the initial one, and then we co-created the other one, and within it we had people, process, and data and technology supported by strategic planning in order to achieve BIM delivery through to decision management and decision support, which would enable problem identification and continuous improvement. So, and we ended up with this framework. It's not so clear, apologies, but within the framework we have different constructs within it. For example, that is defining customer outcomes, which we had a guideline to it, right from adapting a client-centric approach to developing a robust framework. And for this paper, which we cannot isolate within the framework, was the BIM maturity to a digital twin, which really starts from strategic planning, which you achieve a digital twin strategy, right to achieving a dynamic digital twin at level 4, which enables decision support and decision management, to which from that you can drive insights to enable you problem identify and continuously improve. So that's, and don't confuse this to the initial BIM levels, no. We're now in BIM stages. So, and yeah, so just because of time, the future work is an evaluation of the framework, which will do some expert focus groups, and we would be evaluating for its fruitfulness, its prudence, how reasonable are the assumptions in the proposed framework, quantification, to what extent does the proposed framework cover quantification in problem solving, the scope, does the framework cover a reasonable part of the problem, progressiveness, is it novel, leading to progress in knowledge, internal consistency, are the constructs working all together, and external consistency, to what extent do the assumptions within the proposed framework align with established theories. And thank you, that's the end. Well, I'm looking forward to your questions and any feedback, because basically feedback is what is building this project.